What if the single most important financial decision in American history was made by an ordinary carpenter with a single coin in his pocket? Stay with me all the way to the end of this one, because this story starts with 1 penny and ends with something that touches every single person watching this video right now, whether you realize it yet or not. It is February 15, 1791, and Philadelphia is the most important city in the United States of America. It is the nation's capital. It is the center of commerce, of politics, of culture, of argument, and of the particular energetic chaos that comes with being a brand new country still figuring out absolutely everything from scratch. And on this particular February morning, a carpenter named James Dowell pulls on his coat, tucks something carefully into his vest pocket, and walks through the cold morning air to a small, relatively unremarkable building on Chestnut Street. He is going to the bank. Specifically, he is going to the Bank of Philadelphia, which has just introduced something so radical, so unprecedented, so entirely new to the American financial landscape that most of the city's residents are still not sure what to make of it. A savings account. Not a loan, not a line of credit, not a business account for merchants, landowners, and men of substantial means. A savings account. For anyone. For everyone. For a carpenter named James Dowell with a single coin in his vest pocket and a farm that needs saving, here is what you need to know about James Dowell. He is 34 years old. He has a wife named Catherine and 3 children under the age of 8. He owns a small farm on the edge of the city that he works before and after his carpentry jobs, which run 6 days a week from before sunrise to after sunset. He is not poor, exactly. But he is one bad season, one broken tool, one illness away from losing everything. And he knows it. Every farmer in America knows it. Every working man in America knows it. Because in 1791, there was no safe place to put your money. You either keep it in your house, which is dangerous, or you hand it to a wealthy merchant to hold, which requires a level of trust that history has repeatedly proven to be optimistic. Or you simply spend it before someone takes it, which is not really a financial strategy so much as a surrender. The savings bank changes all of that. The idea, imported from Europe where similar institutions have been cautiously gaining ground, is breathtakingly simple. Ordinary working people can deposit whatever they have, no matter how small, and the bank will keep it safe and pay them a small amount of interest over time. Your money grows while you sleep, while you work, while you are raising your children, repairing your barn, and living your life. To a working carpenter in 1791, this is not just a financial product. This is hope with an address. James arrives at the bank just after it opens. He is, according to the account later written by the bank's head teller, a man named Cornelius Fitch, the 3rd customer of the morning, but the first to make a savings deposit. Cornelius later writes in his surviving personal journal that James stood at the window for a moment before speaking, as if he were gathering himself. Then he reached into his vest pocket, placed a single penny on the counter, and said, in a voice Cornelius describes as quiet but entirely certain, that he would like to open a savings account. 1 penny. Cornelius Fitch processes the deposit. He fills out the paperwork. He opens the ledger to a fresh page and writes James Dowell's name at the top in careful, practiced script. He records the date. He records the amount, 1 cent. And then, according to his own journal entry written that same evening, Cornelius does something that is not part of his official duties. He frames the receipt. Not because anyone tells him to, not because there is any official recognition of what has just happened, but because Cornelius Fitch, standing behind his teller's window on a cold February morning in 1791, understands something that will take the rest of the country a generation to fully appreciate. He has just watched history happen, in the most ordinary, human, pennies and paperwork way possible. He hangs the framed receipt on the wall behind his window, where it stays for the next 11 years. Within 1 year of James Dowell's deposit, the Bank of Philadelphia's savings division had over 400 account holders. Within 5 years, that number is over 2,000. And here's the part that genuinely takes your breath away. The model spreads. Other cities watch Philadelphia. Other banks take note. Within 20 years, savings banks had opened in New York, Boston, Baltimore, and Charleston. Within 50 years, they will exist in virtually every state in the Union. By 1900, more than 9 million Americans had savings accounts. 9 million people who, without James Dowell's penny and Cornelius Fitch's framed receipt and one radical idea about who deserves financial security, might have spent their entire lives one bad season away from losing everything. James Dowell's farm, by the way, survives. Catherine and the children are fine, the barn gets repaired, the account grows slowly, steadily, exactly as promised. He deposits every spare coin he earns for the next 22 years. I want you to think about something for a moment. James Dowell did not walk into that bank on February 15th, 1791, thinking he was making history. He was thinking about his farm. He was thinking about Catherine and the children. He was thinking about the barn roof and the coming spring planting, and whether one penny was a foolish thing to deposit or a brave one. He was just a man trying to take care of his family, making the best decision he could with what he had. And that penny, that one quiet, careful, hopeful penny, rippled forward through 2 centuries and touched the lives of hundreds of millions of people. The decisions you are making right now, the small ones, the careful ones, the ones that feel almost too modest to matter, are doing the same thing. You just cannot see it yet. Before you go, I want to ask you something that has been on my mind since I first found this story. Cornelius Fitch framed that receipt because he understood instinctively that the ordinary moment in front of him was worth preserving, worth remembering, worth passing forward. And I want to ask you, what moments in your own family are worth preserving right now? Because somewhere in your memory, there is a James Dowell, someone who made a quiet, careful, courageous decision with what little they had and changed everything for the people who came after them. A grandparent who sacrificed, a parent who started over, someone who planted seeds they never got to see grow. Those stories are your family's framed receipts. And if you do not write them down, if you do not record them, if you do not pass them forward, they disappear. And the people who come after you will never know how much they owe to one ordinary morning and one extraordinary decision. Please do not let that happen. Come back to History Sparks every single day, where we believe that the most important stories in history are not always the ones in the textbooks. Sometimes they are the ones written in a teller's journal on a cold February morning in Philadelphia by a man who simply did his job and paid attention. This community is for people who pay attention. Hit that subscribe button and join us right now. Leave a comment below and tell me about a small but brave decision someone in your family made that changed everything. Honor them here, today, in this community, the way Cornelius Fitch honored James Dowell with a frame and a nail and a wall.